Good morning, everybody. Daniel Allison, the average dude. Welcome to First Sip. Can you hear me, Freddie Blanton?
Loud and clear, big guy, even on
That's
a
what's
rainy
going on.
Thursday.
That's
I
what's
got you
going on.
loud and clear. Happy to be here, live 755.
Let's go. Let's go. How you feeling this morning, Fred?
Tall, dark, and handsome, just like I did yesterday morning, Danny.
Every single time I've seen you, you've been tall, dark, and handsome. I don't know how you do it. It's just, it's unbelievable. But
Consistency is key.
consistency is key. And you know what else is key?
Tell me, surprise me.
Coffee. Coffee in the morning. Coffee in the morning after it's like been raining and you got up anyway. I didn't want to get up this morning. I really did not. I was really tired. I had the excuse of rain and I said, you know what? I'm gonna feel a little better. Plus, we've got a peak performance person that's going to be on the show, and so it's just kind of like
You
obligates
had to
me
do it.
to do it. Can we have that first sip of coffee?
You want one?
Yeah.
First sip. Let's go.
Let's get. Oh boy. That's
As
why you
good as you
wait.
hoped it would
That's
be?
why you wait. What'd you say, Fred?
Is it as good as you hoped it would be?
It is because you know I've been sitting here for about 15 minutes. I had everything that I wanted to get done. I was nice and prepared. I'm ready to have a great conversation. I'm ready to get my mind right. I'm ready to see these great bus riders. But I wanted a cup of coffee too. So
Yeah.
that first sip, it's good. It's good. Let's see who's on the
Mm,
bus
mm.
today. And Jacob, it's wake up and let's go. And Aaron's in a great mood because we see those exclamation marks, and I love it when he's in a great mood.
Well, he's also smiling in this picture. That's key.
It is key.
Is Joe
It is key.
smiling in his picture?
He is smiling. Joe's always smiling. And look at there. He's got Buongiorno and the three exclamation. It's going to be a great day. We got Gary. Gary made it to the bus live at 7:55. And Freddie, you aren't dark. Tall, dark, and handsome. So you
Aaron,
just need you
let
just
me
need
live. Let me live, AJ. That's what I have
let
to
me
tell
live.
people sometimes. You let me live.
Absolutely. You let me live my life.
Look how
Uh
dark I am compared to this wall.
I know. You show up just fine. You know,
Yeah,
I do like that bobcat back there. How long have you had that bobcat up there? Has that been
five
up there for
years.
5 years?
Yeah.
I like it. I wonder
Do
if
I
I
need
could get
some?
one.
Do I need some LED lights behind it? Flashing.
That would be cool. You know, kind of let it come to life.
Yeah.
Look at here. We got Julie on the bus. Good morning,
Julie,
Julie.
Julie, Julie.
Hey, she's got a great initiative going on. I want everybody to check that out. Everybody that gets on the bus, they've got great things going out. They
Got
post
stuff
things
going
on
on.
LinkedIn. Support these folks.
Yeah.
Tall and handsome, yes. Dark, no. So hey, two out of three on that is
Yeah.
it's
I'll
not
take it.
bad.
I'll take
Well,
it.
hey, we do this. We've been doing it every single weekday morning for one reason and one reason only, or maybe multiple reasons. But what do you think, Fred? Why in the world are we doing this?
To get our minds right. To
That's right.
start our day off with positive influence around a positive circle to go out and smack the day in the face.
The most important part of the day, I've been doing this for a little bit, is the first 15 minutes of your day. That first sip of coffee, you get around great people, you get yourself in a good mood, you talk about your intentions, you do these types of things, and you're going to win the day. You're going to win the day. Hey, I love a
Hey,
good metaphor. I love a good metaphor. And running, what better metaphor for what it all is that we're doing here as a human being than running a race? Do you like to run, Freddie Blanton? Do you
is
like
it
to
one
run?
of my favorite things to do? No. Is it rewarding when I do it? Yes.
And that right there, that is why I think it's such a great metaphor. You know, it's never fun to start, but when you finish, it's great. Everybody starts out at a different pace. Everybody's running their own race. I've been thinking about the turkey trot down here. That was my first road race. and you don't, if you start out too fast, you,
Yeah.
you slow down, you
You're
stop.
gassed. Yeah. What is nice is when you find your rhythm, you find your cadence, you find your breath, and then at that point, it's easy.
It
Believe it or
is.
not, it's easy.
And that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit today. And we got to say good morning to Larry. Love it when
All
Larry
right.
is out here. Dark day outside, make it a bright day inside.
Come
Here we go. I
on.
like that. So I'm gonna get to my introduction. We've got a guest. Jennifer Watson is a leadership and high performance strategist, bridging clinical neuroscience and executive strategy. A two-time All-American track athlete.
Two
See,
time.
the
All
segue,
American.
and master of physical therapy. She spent 20 years studying the physiology. I always have trouble with that word, the
Yeah.
physiology of peak performance. After overcoming debilitating burnout herself, Jennifer created a framework, the Activate framework, to help leaders regulate their nervous systems and transition from the chaos into sustainable flow state. She is a
Whoa.
TEDx speaker and the host of the Soul Purpose Leadership Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen of the bus and Freddie Blanton, Jennifer Watson.
Hi, guys. Nice to be here. So excited to be here and be a part of your bus. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. And what's so cool, so we connect with people here locally. You live in Greenville. I'm
Yes.
right in here in the
Yes.
upstate.
Yes.
And I've been here my whole life. Freddie's been here his whole life, but we haven't connected with Jennifer. And so I love it when LinkedIn brings great people into our network. What do you think about getting out on social media and meeting new people and that sort of thing, Jennifer?
Well, first and foremost, I've been here in Greenville a little over 2.5 years, and I've lived in a lot of places, and it's always fed my soul in different ways. But I love Greenville. The people that are here, the people that are driving not just innovation in progress of this state that's really leading the way in a lot of ways, but just connected and down to earth people that really care about you as a person as well. So loving the area in so many ways. But it's so funny what you just said. The way when I started coming into Greenville, I started reaching out on LinkedIn and looking at people that felt aligned with me. I'm like, wow, I love what they're doing. And just started the conversation on LinkedIn. I'm such a big believer in that, you guys. And it doesn't mean you have to do 100 different connections, 100 different, DMs going on. But when you find something in a profile or something they say on a post that aligns with you, I encourage people to step in and step up. And not that everyone's going to lead down a path, but some will. And so I'm super excited to be here. And I love LinkedIn for that purpose, is to meet like-minded people wanting to do some great things in the world.
Man, well said.
Absolutely. And that's the first time I've got to hear you speak. I love to meet these guests and the first time we talk to them, there's something about that energy of meeting a new person. And I've got to say something. I keep looking at this image behind you.
So do I.
That is so cool. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. It's funny. I know we'll get a little bit into lead performance, but I'm such a big believer in your environment. You guys, we hear about the people in your environment,
Yeah.
the things you do in your environment. I have many areas in my home
I
that
like
have
that.
certain pictures or certain statues or things of that remind me not only who I am, but also help me tap into
Yeah.
my brilliance. And I love elephants. I love what elephants
Mm.
symbolize, as well as the energy. So I have a lot of different elephant pictures and statues in my house, but I also like vibrant colors. You guys can see that. But there's a lot of power in making your room really aligned with you, that makes you want to just get up and go for the day. So this is one of my favorite rooms.
It's one of my favorite rooms now because I love that. That's really cool. Fred, did you have something on your mind there?
No, I was going to ask the exact same question because I keep looking at it. What does the elephant mean to you if you
Well,
have a few pictures?
there's honestly, there's so much. Different animals symbolize different things, but what I love about, the elephant, they're very patient, wise, very wise, patient and wise, and deep emotional intelligence. If you guys know anything about elephants, and there's kind of like that connection to dolphins too, that dolphins also have a high level of emotional intelligence. And that's something that I just really resonate with, because I believe, life takes patience. It takes us down a bunch of different curveballs. We learn a lot over our years. I love the connection of wisdom and emotional intelligence. I truly believe, even before all of 2026 and AI that's going on, I believe emotional intelligence and higher forms of communication are so needed for us to connect with humans right now. Always were needed, but are needed now. So it's interesting. I've always loved elephants, and there's other qualities of them, but those are the top three that I've seen that they're very connected to symbolically, and also the way that they move in the earth. And it's something I want to be more patient. I want to create more wisdom as I navigate this crazy thing called life, and really make sure that I'm connecting with people in a higher level way, because I believe more than ever, emotional intelligence and communication in a higher peak performance, which we can get into, because I believe peak performance is not just about doing more excellent work and more productivity. It's how are you being peak performance and elevating yourself in all things, including conversations with people. And it's something I'm continuing to work on and work with on people, because I believe it's needed. One of the number one things in the world we live in right now, if not the number one.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love a lot of the things you're saying there, Jennifer. It's a lot of the environment. We talk a lot about energy, right? If you've read John Gordon's Energy Bus book, that's kind of the ritual of what we're trying to do here. But everything from your environment to the way that we communicate, both with words and with
Yeah.
presence, it's communication. That energy is communication, because that elephant is giving us a feeling. Sometimes some elephants probably have better social skills than humans, wouldn't you
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're able to connect.
Yes, I believe we can learn a lot from animals. I believe, I've used to have a therapy dog for my first business, my holistic physical therapy practice. And I believe we can learn so much from animals, whether you have one of your own or have like a spirit animal that you really connect with. We can learn a lot about filtering through the noise and actually just being good humans and enjoying life more, but also performance. You guys, and this is one thing I'll say, I actually did a keynote yesterday talking on flow state performance. And one thing I talk about all the time is how many of us, whether we try to change our environment, whether we try to connect with the spirit animal, we try to connect with people like you, how many of us are trying to get into a higher level of performance every day? I bet you guys are all raising your hand. I'm going to say this. We all can consistently get into what I call flow state performance every day, no matter what the day is bringing out to you, whether it be it's just a busy day or something goes high and right. There's ways you can tap into that. It's not just a random thing that happens. We've all had those days where it's just like easy connection, we're making good decisions, time stands still, like, right? But we actually, as human beings, when we know how to engage our body, we can learn that from human beings, we can learn it from animals, we can learn it from people like me that have been studying it for a while. You can actually consistently tap into it no matter your environment. And you guys, that's the real flex, because anybody can be in good performance when everything's daisies and roses. But what if you wake up in anxiety because you have a busy day, or something robs your day by 8 a.m., or something that puts you against the wall in your business or life happens? You don't want to crumble. You want to find a way to not only ground yourself and get out of your head, but into your body so you can make good decisions. But how can you go higher level into a state that allows you to make exceptional decisions, exceptional communication, and honestly get more done in a day? And it's something, as you can see, I'm very, very passionate about.
You've got great energy about it. That's what we always look for, and it helps it to really relate and resonate. When somebody's speaking from the heart and they believe this stuff and they're doing it, right? They're living it, they're teaching it, it comes across. So I really appreciate that. Take us back to your running career, right? Like you did running at a high level, at a peak performance level. Tell us about that time period. When did you know you were a gifted runner?
I think what's really great is my parents allowed us to like try all kinds of sports. They were never like push and do the same sport year round. And you guys, that's a whole PT and me too about doing one sport year round that can cause physical issues. You got to give your body a break, but also kids' minds breaks. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I
Yeah.
know when I was young, I had sports. We were a very athletic family, and my parents were really about having fun and just exploring, not only having fun, but what we were gifted at and what we wanted to do more of. And probably around 10, 11, 12. 12, I could tell that I was very fast naturally. And even people and gym teachers started noticing. And by the way, I'm an identical twin sister. So,
Oh,
or I have
wow.
an identical twin sister. So we were both really, very fast, but I was a lot more competitive than her. So I kind of started
Hmm.
rising in the ranks. And that does matter, you guys, if you really want to go down that road. And I remember, and this is what I love about talking about flow state at that age, I not only got what it meant to really have fun with something I'm good at, but I got how to perform without feeling like it's performing. And what I mean is, you guys, what we as high performers sometimes do, and we learn this at a young age, is that we have to perform to be perfect every day. And that if we don't perform in a certain way, everyone around us won't like us or abandon us or not think we're great. And I started out as a kid just loving performing in excellence for performance stakes. And what happened in my own journey, and why I talk about what I talk about, I started letting the world come in a little bit as I got higher up the ranks and into college and even into making my first business of what performance really was. And it was burning myself to the ground, pushing all the emotion down, not asking for help, frantic if I didn't do air quote a good job all the time, fear that I wouldn't be liked or my team would leave me, or and it just became exhausting. So I got away from that 12-year-old that loved to perform and excel just for excellence and performance sake. And what happened in my late 20s is I kind of hit a wall. I'm like, I can't sustain this anymore. And I have to believe with what I know as a physical therapist at a time, like there's something a better way to perform. And what I realized is I started making frameworks and researching and realized I could get back to her, the 12-year-old that loved it, and that frameworks we can use now to get into that state of not only flow but doing it that feels joyful, doing it for the right reasons, because I believe performance is not for other people, it's for you bringing your gifts to the world in the best way you know how every day. And it's not about what whether people like you or not, whether you perform well enough. It's really the human experience of stepping out of your bed every day and making it a space that, like, how can I show up in my best? And I believe tapping into your flow state allows you to do that. And it doesn't mean you're going to knock it out of the park every day. And again, I always go back to that 12-year-old of, like, ironically, as old as I am, I've come all full circle to she knew best. She actually did. And I got in the noise for a while, but now I get to teach people how to do it even more powerfully in their business and in their life and just really have fun creating performance to actually give something back to the world more than anything else.
I love that. Fred, what you got on your mind? I've
All right.
got so much on my mind.
Yeah. So on the way to work this morning, I was talking to Daniel. It was raining. There was more traffic. I have a jam-packed morning, so I could be a little discombobulated.
Yeah.
How would I ease into that flow state?
I love that. And by the way, you guys, a lot of us, by the way, get up in the morning, even if we don't have a day that goes high and right or robs our day or something unexpected happens. A lot of us get up, like you high performers, with a very air quote. I put air quote. That's a whole nother thing because we don't have to make it as busy and still be very productive. But that's another episode. But I will say this: a lot of us wake up a little anxious, like, oh my gosh, I have a lot going on, and already in anxious mode. You guys, you got to realize when your nervous system is in fight, flight, or freeze, nothing you do that day that you have planned that you want to do quality will work as well or at all, or problems can come up. So I think it's such a great question. And by the way, there's deeper frameworks I do with people that sometimes there's patterns already showing up and it has to be more than some of the things I'm going to give you. But this is a good way to scratch the surface. Again, sometimes you have patterns that we have to unwind that we've been doing for 30 years.
Yeah.
But no matter what, this will really help a lot of people. I say it's like less than 2 minutes to do. I do this every morning, you guys. When I get up, I immediately go outside, not just move, go outside. We are positively negatively charged. We're made from the earth and we go onto the grass. I prefer that even over sidewalk, you guys. And in the summer, if you can get in your bare feet, this helps take you out of your head and anxiousness of what you have to do that day and literally pulls you into your body, not thinking what happened yesterday, not thinking about what you have to do today, but actually just gets you grounded. Even I have people stomp a little bit on the grass, you guys. I'm being very specific here, not just get up and put your head up in the sun. Stand outside for at least 5 minutes. If you can just walk around with your cup of coffee, get in that grounded state. The other thing I'm going to encourage all of you to do, I call it a bilateral tapping exercise. So you're going to go on either side of your temples here and you're going to tap for like 30 seconds. And what this tapping does, and you do it at certain locations for a reason, won't go into all that today, but neuroscience shows when we tap at certain locations of our body, it stops the fight or flight, the sympathetic nervous system that gets us into that anxious fight or flight zone, and halts it, kind of gets rid of the circuit and pauses it to go back into our parasympathetic or calm state. So after you've stomped in the ground for like 5 minutes, tap on either side, bilateral tapping of your temples for 30 seconds. Then from that space, take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, but exhale longer than you inhale. You guys, that's a key. And what all 3 of these techniques do, it pulls you out of that anxious or fight or flight, if you're feeling it, into a more grounded state, calm state. I guarantee you guys, you're going to feel a little bit less, what you just said, anxious about the day, a little, if not a lot. Now, again, there's deeper frameworks for people. We have wiring, things that we've put into our system for years, but this is a great place to start. And then finally, to seal the deal. No matter what I'm anxious about that day, whether it be a sales call I have, a hard conversation I have to have, just a busy day, I say this out loud, you guys. Speaking is the next part, and then writing what you speak down. It's this. I say to myself and out loud, I get to. Okay, whatever it is, I get to meet with an amazing team today and go over our solutions for this big problem we have. I get to meet on a StreamYard today and share my knowledge to the world. I get, and the reason why I say I get, everyone, our words, everybody write this down. Our words are our worlds. What we say to ourselves matters. So even if you're anxious about going online and will you stumble or not, like, I get to share my amazing impact and the knowledge I have to the world. You know, I say this a lot when I go on stage, you guys, and I'm nervous. I'm like, how I move through that is what I just did. And then I get to give something to the world that I know people need. I get to have a tough conversation that I know is going to change the trajectory of our company, even though it's a tough conversation I have to have my employee. I get to do that today. I get to get up and breathe and see the sun coming out after the beautiful rain and the green grass that I get to walk on. I get to do that. Does that make sense, you guys? And
Oh,
just
yeah.
saying that right now,
Yeah.
can you feel like even my energy, like it's revving me up. It's getting me excited for the day. So those are things that I would say are kind of go-tos. It doesn't make it perfect, everyone. There's things that I work on with people at a deeper level. Also, how do we get that flow state for decision making that's harder? How do we get into flow state when there is more of a complex conversation happening that day? But just this stuff alone, you guys, is going to start that process that takes less than 5 minutes for you to get you into that more, at least grounded, if not fully flow state yet.
I love the way you said that. And I want to make this point. You know, we talk about energy, but we're not talking about misaligned energy. We're not talking about bouncing off the walls energy. We're not talking about starting that race at 100 miles an hour and then quitting on mile 2.
Yeah.
We are talking about exactly what Jennifer said: control of ourselves, alignment, intentionality, gratitude,
Yes.
the breathing. I have, you know, once you get a little older, you start seeing all the things. I've always been a high energy person, but my
Yeah.
goodness, I was wound up so tight that I was a great straight line runner,
Yes.
right? But I
Yes.
could not, you know, Fred,
You're,
what were
you
you
know, that is
getting?
that is
Go
such
ahead, Jennifer.
You
that
were
is
Jennifer's gonna
almost
be
as
such
nicer
fast
than
as Jerry
Fred. Fred's
Cantrell.
gonna be mean to me.
you know, that is such a great point. I say this all the time, you guys. Flow state is not about high energy. It's about control intentionality with your particular physiology. I guarantee you that horse that won this weekend with Kentucky Derby was in flow state.
Yeah.
You guys, and I'm not kidding you. Like, you understand, he was in last. What I want all of you to know, in a flow state's not about you being the best every day, for you to be in front every day, for you to not have problems every day. What flow state does is take your unique energy and put little boundaries, like little on it, to get intentional about where you're putting that energy, whether it be in a decision, a solution, a complex conversation. You guys, flow state is more than being high performing for high performing sake. It's about taking that flow and how it connects to decisions, conversations, keeping your capacity there when your day gets stolen from you, and keeping the boundaries on that energy to keep it going through the day where you're not burnout, you're not exhausted, you're hating life by the time you get home to your kids. There's so much more to this, you guys, but understand the body is so brilliant, but you have to understand how it flows best. And it is a little bit unique for all of us. But the tips I just gave you guys, try it the rest of the week, and you'll be surprised how much you start seeing and perceiving things differently and interacting with your world differently by being in that higher state. You guys, we are energy. There's energy around us. You can say it's a fluff word or not. It is science. And when you learn to tap into the greatest machine ever made, combine it with the strategy, the AI tools, you become unstoppable.
Whoa, whoa. I mean, hey, and look, you know, sometimes we hear the word energy, and I think some people misunderstand. Look, energy is so doggone important, and Jennifer knows this. She's
Yeah.
talking with leaders. It's not just a fun word and oh, that's sweet. You guys be energetic over there. No, this is what humans have to do. We are quite literally putting deals together by communication. And who
Yes.
do we
Yeah.
want to be around? We want to be around those people that are aligned, that
Yes.
aren't
And I will
that
say
aren't
that people, whether they like the word energy or not, I say presence. If you like that word better,
There you
you
go.
guys, we buy from people that we connect with their energy every day of the week and twice on Sunday. You guys, I have made sales calls and deals with barely talking about what the framework is about. People want to trust energy. That's the way we're met. It's not about being emotional. It's about men, women of all ages. We trust what we feel. Say that again. We trust what we feel. And if it's, oh, that person's off, I don't care how great you are, Daniel, I'm moving on. If I'm like, nope, this person is raw, real. And by the way, it doesn't mean that you necessarily agree with everything I'm saying. I've gone into keynotes where I was creating a polarization of a topic, but because I was so in my truth, in my energy, the right people that connected with that aligned with me and came up to me afterwards. So remember, energy doesn't lie. And when you're in your true energy and who you are, people feel that and they either come to you, which is great, or not. And that's great too, because not everybody's going to be your people, right? And that's okay. But the ones that are, and you're in your true energy instead of quote faking it or trying to be hyper energy, if you're not that person, just be you. And people will come to you bees to honey. You guys, it gets a lot easier to run life and business if you start just being yourself. I had to go back to the 12-year-old to just love being me, running through the forest and take that into my adult life. And the game started to change. And like, there's something to this. Let's move our energy into a powerful way and heal the world, my friends.
Oh man, I want to go to your next keynote and just amen from the congregation. You know, I mean that's great stuff right there. I love it. I'd like for you as we close out here to talk to someone that maybe is experiencing burnout right now, right?
Yeah.
It is so hard. Maybe it's hard to be on a situation like this when you're not feeling good,
Yeah.
right? So
Right.
hopefully they're listening. If that person is listening, what would you tell them? How can they activate themselves
Yeah.
to get themselves out of that spot?
Man, that's such a great point. I'm going to say two big things. You guys write this down because I think this is the best thing you're going to hear all week. And I mean that. I actually believe there's actually less burnout out there than we realize. When we think of burnout, we're doing 20 things a day and we're just dead tired by the end of the day. That's what we think about burnout. I'm going to say two things. I'm going to encourage all of you to reflect on this. One, write this down, everybody. Are you staying on your blueprint? And what I mean by that is on why you're particularly here, the impact you want to create, moving in a strategy that feels good to you and not listen to all the noise on social, all the noise of people that maybe aren't your mentors, but you're just listening to, and then you're getting off your path. More times than not, when I work with clients and we start getting through burnout and breaking free from it, it's really not that they have too much on their plate. It's they're doing a bunch of things that either don't serve them or they think they're supposed to do and everybody else is doing it. And it doesn't feel aligned with them, but they're just doing it. I want you guys to look through your to-do list today and really get honest. Do the techniques we just mentioned, get grounded in your body and ask yourself, when I look at my to-do list, is this really stuff I want to do or have my team do? Is this on my blueprint? You will be surprised how much you can act some things out and start moving forward in a really powerful way. Number two, the grounded technique we just gave you is the second point that's connected with the point I'm about to make right now. Many of us, it's not burnout. Write this down, everybody. It's distortion under stress. When we're anxious, we're going to walk into any meeting, any decision with chaos in our head. So we're already feeling threatened. We're already distorting what's going on because we're projecting the worst case scenario. We can't make any good decisions or work productively when we're in that state. When you ground yourself, and again, I have deeper techniques, you guys, so you can go into your day without the distortion, but actually aligned perception and decision making, everything changes. I'm going to say that again. I don't always believe it's burnout. I believe it's the way we're perceiving our environment we're going into, because we're already starting in chaos for the day. The body and the brain cannot perceive well. And we start, how many times have we gone to boardrooms and we're in stress and we start assuming someone that is not looking at us, or maybe he's not contributing to the meeting. We just start assuming things like, oh, they're not contributing, or whatever we start doing. And then we create more chaos versus getting really grounded and going into a board meeting and with something that feels more true and reality based. When we're less distorted, we can perceive things effectively, and allows us to get through things more effectively, less energy, less burnout. So those two things, you guys, are you on your blueprint? One, really get honest with that and things you do every day. And two, is it more that you're not in burnout? You're in distortion under stress all day. You're perceiving an environment in threat form because you're in threat form. Let's move you out of that so you can start seeing things from a higher level. I teach a lot on somatic leadership and really moving the body into a safer space, especially if there's some patterns that get you always in fight or flight and threat mode. Sometimes we have to do deeper work to unwind that. But those two things, you guys, if you just are open to seeing it differently, you'll see a shift potentially in burnout.
I love it. See things from a higher level. When we get caught in our perspective, it gets heavy, right? We get so focused all of the way we're seeing it, but there's so many ways to see it. And Jennifer said, step back, see the big picture. I absolutely love this. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for joining us this morning. My mind is right. Freddie Blanton has got a final thought. How about it?
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's the deal. Our words are our world. Stay grounded, stay intentional, find your flow state, and take it to the top.
Let's go. I love it. Thanks so much, everybody. See y'all tomorrow. It's Friday. Let's finish strong. Thanks, Jennifer.
You
See
bet.
ya. Let's roll.